This week on Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, we look back at the year in Star Trek and talk about what we're looking forward to in 2023. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Johnson.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a busy weekend already, but I'm here. I'm present for this discussion. Earlier today, I went with a few friends to brunch. And, preface. So Emily in Paris is coming out. Season 3 is coming out on December 21st. So Netflix did this whole pop-up in, it's like in Soho, but it's like the little Paris area. And there was like a crepe stand, a flower shop, and you would get a passport and you go to like all these different locations. And it was like this whole production. So I got really excited. And a few friends and I were like, yes, we're here. Of course, I'm the one that pushes us to do this. And we should make a whole thing out of it. Let's have brunch at like a French spot. And then let's go walk over and be in Paris, like Emily. I was really excited. So we did brunch. I got a croque madame. It was delicious. And then we walked over and literally there were lines around the block. It's just to get the passport, to get a stamp. Because basically you go to each stand and you get a stamp and then you can redeem it for prizes or a gift card or something like that. So just to get the passport, there was a line around the block. So one of my friends begged this rando to give her a passport. So we had one passport between all of us. And then we looked and saw lines and lines. So basically each of these stands, these pop-ups, had a line around the block just for that. And then at one point, there was a flower shop. You get a little bouquet and they're like, we're out of flowers. Okay, I was like, all right, we're out of here. It was ridiculous. But we took the selfie, which is the most important thing. So on social media, it happened. But yeah, suffice it to say, Johnson did not visit Emily in Paris. But I am excited for the series premiere in a week.
Wow, so, yeah. all of that prelude for you didn't get to do any of the thing.
No, but I saw from a distance and I was happy for other people because they got things.
Oh, really?
And, it really looked like they were thrilled to be there. And I was like, I'm happy for you and more power to you. But I'd rather pay $5 for the crepe than wait 45 minutes for a free crepe. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that to myself. So that was my morning afternoon, but it was fun. Yeah. How's your day been? How's your weekend been?
Weekend's been all right. Built my new office chair that arrived today.
Is it ergonomically helping you already?
I don't know. No, I mean it's nice and comfortable. It's no longer a dining room chair that I had been using, so it's nice.
Does it fit your aesthetic, your apartment aesthetic?
Well, it's black and my desk is white, so that's the only thing. But okay. Dennis did a great job. This is my Christmas. This is a present this was an early Christmas present from Dennis.
That's sweet.
Always so it is
and for you.
Yes, and I have no idea what to get him for Christmas yet. So,
I think we talked about this last year. I think I recommended a Theragun or something. I don't. I feel this sounds very familiar. But we talked about what am I going to get Dennis? I was like, how about Theragun?
This is also the pressure of the holidays is figuring out gifts. And this year, I think we talked about this earlier is in another episode that I'm just going to get my niece and nephews all gift cards this year and just be done with it. And when we saw my brother-in-law, or when I saw my brother-in-law last weekend, we were up in Boston last weekend for a medical conference for Dennis, and we drove back and stopped at my sister's house for a little while and hung out with them. And I brought that up, and my brother-in-law agreed that probably gift cards are the easiest thing for them.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but yes, so thank you for reminding me about the Theragun. Maybe that might be a good choice to get him for, yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember, speaking of,
What?
So that brings me back. Do you remember when we were in Star Trek Las Vegas, or not Star Trek Las Vegas?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that there was this guy who was selling sort of a package deal, and I thought about getting it?
Yes, you kept on going back to him. So this was in the dealer room, and I don't know why.
Yes.
Like there was like this guy selling basically Theragons.
Basically Theragons, yeah.
I'm like, are they themed? Like they weren't even like themed Theragons. It was just he was just there, and And I stood at a distance. I was like, best of luck. Like I didn't quite understand,
but I didn't end up getting it because it was more money than I wanted to spend on the trip. Since we had already spent quite a bit of money on the trip.
Yeah, I mean, they're
so
good. It's but
there are actually many different brands at this point. So this is like a year and a half later, and there are
kind of like ripoffs if you go on Amazon.
Yes.
And I mean, I have one that's a ripoff that I think I paid like $80 for, and it's great. Like it's perfect. Okay. And I've tried a real Theragun. I'm like, this feels the same. So I don't know.
Feels the same. All right. Well, there we go. Well, maybe we just solved my Christmas shopping issue for that. There we go.
Use it.
Yeah. So I put together the chair that I am now sitting in today because it arrived today, and Dennis was texting and calling me thinking, because I was out running errands, and he thought that they just left it on our doorstep.
He was like, "Is it there? Did it get stolen?"
Yeah. So he said early Christmas, and Happy Christmas. So I spent a couple of hours putting it together this afternoon.
Hours? Did you really take that long?
It took about 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Unpackaging it and like figuring out the instructions and like screwing it together and whatnot.
Geez.
And then the funny thing is that I built it out in the living room and had to move it all the way to the back and where my office is.
Sure.
And it didn't fit through the door.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I eventually did get it through the door. Obviously, it was literally like, this is ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I did that. So while I was doing that, I saw a random Netflix ad and Instagram about this new show called The Recruit. No, it was not. That would never show up in my queue.
I don't know. They're pushing really hard right now.
So I saw an ad for The Recruit, which I watched the first 2 episodes as I ate breakfast, and then it's about this 24-year-old law school grad who gets a job at the CIA and gets thrust into a big, huge mess in his first week of work. Nobody recognizable. So, and new guy, he's good looking. He's,
of course.
Yeah. So I watched the first 2 episodes. So I had ordered breakfast, or brunch rather, and I was eating that, and then built the chair afterwards. So maybe it took like a little over an hour to build the chair, maybe an hour and a half. But so I did that, and then I got ready for a party that I'm going to after we record. And so I have to go. Yes, so I have to check out to Long Island. So yes, fortunately there are plenty of trains, and I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, so that's my Saturday. No, never driving again out there. No.
What, you've done it a few times, I recall. Driven you and your friends out to the party.
Yes, I did drive out there one time, and it was okay. I mean, we got there, but I had to go to the bathroom really bad because traffic was like ridiculous.
Sure. Yeah.
So I ran in the house when I got there. I had to go to the bathroom, but the drive back was also ridiculous. And we got back, and I didn't realize my garage closes at midnight or whatever. So we had to park in a parking lot, and then I had to go and move it the next day. But my friends who all came back with me in the car paid for the parking, which was really nice of them. So,
okay.
So I'm going out to this party, and then I have church tomorrow. The college kids are back tomorrow, so I'm excited to see them.
The children.
Yes, it already feels like a very packed weekend because I will not get home until like 1 a.m. probably.
Yeah.
So it is going to feel like very packed, and then it's back to work on Monday. But nothing quite as exciting as your tirade about Emily in Paris. Clearly, you're very passionate about Emily in Paris. I am not.
I love Emily.
But all the power to you.
Thank you
for your enthusiasm around a young 20-something in Paris doing your job. Yes. I think, right? If I vaguely recall
she's
plot line
doing
of this,
doing the social media and the advertising, but then she also needs to choose between the two men that want her in her life. So,
of course,
there's a lot. She needs to make some choices this season. I think that's the theme.
Yes. So
maybe,
and it's not been renewed for season 4. So maybe they're going to do like something like Johnson in Paris for season 4.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? I think it actually got renewed for season 3 and 4.
Oh, really? Oh.
Maybe.
I do not keep track of this. But anyway, The Recruit is very interesting, and I'm intrigued and enjoying I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. So I will be watching more.
I'm watching.
But anyway.
I'm watching Dark right now. And it's really good. I've been trying to watch it for years, and I finally decided to just watch it, and it's excellent. It's very complex. It's like one of the most complex sci-fi shows I've ever seen. So,
oh boy, I feel like that's a 3-body problem all over again.
You did not like the 3-body problem, but I think it's because you don't like all the Chinese names. Like, it's confusing.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't mind that so much. It was just I don't remember why.
You just didn't get into it. I think I think the setting, and also which was like the Cultural Revolution in China, and also like the Chinese names takes a minute to get used to. Like I do that. So I don't think you really got into it. You couldn't get past that hump.
Yeah, there were several humps. But anyway, this also sounds true for Dark as well.
Yeah, no, Dark is one. And I don't think you would like it. It's very moody and dark. Literally kind of like, it's not like a happy, you probably get anxious from watching it. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Well, so we've talked about everything except what this podcast is normally about, which is Star Trek. So maybe we should talk a little bit about. Yeah, true. We do have varied tastes, and we do often talk about what we are. Our off-topic bleeds into everything nowadays. So we used to have a whole segment on just for off-topic.
Well, part of this,
but now it just
is also about us being gays in New York. So hey, it's all relevant. It's all relevant. I have a date tomorrow.
Or gays in Paris, apparently.
Gays in Paris. Hey, oh my God, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not going back to Paris. The last time I was there, I was like 18, and that's a very different time. Like, I had no income. Like, no income. I didn't know anything. I was a complete dummy. So, and I didn't appreciate most things, I would say.
Whereas now you have income.
Yes, I'm so, I actually, one big thing is I don't think I appreciated food as much when I was 18. I didn't really love eating. This is a phase I went through. But now I love eating. It's such a thing for me. And paying for
it is
eating experiences, food experiences, is kind of like part of my jam. So
Yes, I would say you are, yes. The table, whenever even the two of us, but more often when there are more of us have gathered, the table is filled with food. And you are at your happiest in those moments. You just order all the food.
yes, I love food.
All the
I love
food.
having food. Yum.
All the food. So, yes. Well, so this is our last episode of 2022, and I thought it would be really cool to look back at 2022 in Star Trek and all the things that, have happened, which surprisingly, do you remember back, I think Alex Kurtzman at one point said he wanted Star Trek on TV 52 weeks a year.
Of course. Yes.
Yes. So kudos to him. He almost hit it this year. There are, if you include the upcoming 2 episodes of Prodigy, which I am, because we're recording this a little bit before the end of the year, there were 51 new episodes of Star Trek this year.
Right.
That
there were
is crazy.
Off. Yeah, there were a few weeks off, and then there were a couple of weeks where we got two episodes.
There was a lot of overlap. There was several times of overlap. Yes.
Yeah.
And but we ended up with 51 new episodes of Star Trek this year, which I thought was amazing, like pretty crazy.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And we've talked about, 47 of them, 45 of them. So, so we did get our Spotify Wrapped for our podcast, which just covers our Spotify playlist. But it was nice to see that we released 34, and this is actually this will be our 36th episode. But as of 34 episodes, we had over 2,900 hours of content out there.
Not hours.
Minutes.
Oh my God.
Minutes. No, not hours. No, not
Get
hours.
out of here. I'm not dedicating that much time and energy to this podcast.
No. 2,900 minutes of content out there, which is pretty amazing.
Goodness.
So 51 episodes, 5 series, and a lot to look back on, the good and the bad. But I thought we'd just kind of roll through the year 2022 and talk about what happened and what we liked about it. And as I'm sure you'll chime in, what we didn't like about it either.
Sure.
But talk about some highlights, and interspersed throughout this, we'll have a few of the members of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network chime in with a few of theirs. So you'll hear those interspersed as well throughout the conversation once I edit that all together. But if you can believe it, a year ago, so this year we're beginning and ending on Prodigy, which I think is very interesting. The most episodes of any series, 15 this year. But the first part of 2022, we had, and I had to remind myself, I thought that all of Discovery had played out through the end of 2021, but we had this break in the middle of the season.
Break. It was a little confusing.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it. The second half of Prodigy. What did we call it? 1B? Did we call it? No, 1B. We called it season
1A2.
part 2 or whatever. Yeah,
it's so confusing. I hate it. I hate that they broke it out that way. I hate it.
But it did it did lend itself to that. Like they had developed some arcs, some decent arcs that did work well for that kind of breaking up of the episodes.
And we talked about this at the beginning of the year, I just don't think if you're trying to reach this audience that's young and they have ADD and there's so many different things for them to consume entertainment wise, like let's not, like TikTok's probably 9% of it, that breaking things up is not really helping like to keep momentum going. Like you're already asking them for a lot of patience by releasing episodes weekly, let alone 5 episodes, like a long break, and then another 5 episodes, another long break. It's just not conducive, I think. I'm glad that they, have re-aired the episodes of Nickelodeon, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, why? I just don't know.
Well, now they're all prepped and ready to go. I mean, by the end of this year, right, they'll have the whole season that people can just sit and binge.
Right.
Which will probably, grow the audience at some point. Some people have probably waited, or we'll go back and do some binge watching. But we had the second half of the first half, weirdly enough, of the season. Right. After our gallant crew had broken out of Tars Lamora and were just learning about the new protostar. And anything stick out for you for that first part? That's, that sort of arc. I mean, we did, for me, what stood out, I guess I'll start, is just the fact that they ended it on a point where they were free from Tars Lamora. They had freed all the slaves from Tars Lamora, and they had freed Gwyn from her dad's kind of clutches. And we did learn what drove the diviner, right? So we did learn that he blamed Starfleet, and this is why he needed the protostar, was to basically exact revenge for the damage that that he blames Starfleet for. Right. So
I thought that the finale of season 1A of Prodigy was really strong. A moral star. That was the episode, the two-parter where we learn more about the background. They free all of the unwanted. And that was a really strong episode because it really was a culmination of everything that had gone through in the season. And as we've discussed before, Prodigy is really good at keeping consistent with the character development. And I feel that they really did a service to all the characters in terms of how everything kind of came to a point in that episode, whether to what you're saying, like Gwyn rejecting her father and rejecting and kind of embracing Starfleet's ideals, Dow really coming to his own as captain of the protostar and kind of the rest of the crew banding together. And then this is also when we got the cliffhanger of Admiral Janeway. Admiral Janeway's on the lookout. She's on the hunt.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
So we were left with that. So I thought this was a really, really strong finale. It could have been a season finale, but it was just like literally like season 1A, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I thought that Star Trek started really strong this year with with that particular arc of Prodigy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought that I had totally forgotten about the Janeway, Vice Admiral Janeway.
Yeah, that's what we were off to.
Yeah. No, that was and the Dauntless, and
it was great. It was like, oh my God, I'm here for this. It was a great way to end things, because at that point we hadn't really seen much of like what was going on with Janeway. We just got hologram Janeway, so it was like a like gasp, audible gasp moment when we kind of got that. Like it was almost like a post-credit scene. I mean, because we went to dark, and it was before the credits, but then it's like it's a teaser. They did such a good job with that.
Yeah, they did. And you're right. That could have really been a season finale, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Prodigy started out this year really strong
for all listeners that are not watching Prodigy, watch this fucking show. Like, it is so good. Like, it is literally like out of the 5 Trek series, like it's up there in my mind with Strange New Worlds. Like, it's really excellent. So
yeah,
people need to be watching this show. And
absolutely.
Personally, I mentioned this last episode, I don't think enough people are watching it or talking about it. So
yeah. Well, I think to your point though, I think being able to binge the entire series, because they're such they're short 20-minute episodes, is going to be a great advantage. And in a couple of weeks, you're going to get to see the whole arc of season 1 of Prodigy. I will say that it's a good ending for season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'll say right now. Obviously,
I
can't
haven't
say
seen. Yeah,
anything.
I'm only up to episode 18.
Well, so yeah. So once I was behind, I think I started watching it. There was a cliffhanger, right?
Mhm.
And so I watched the next one because we have the screener, and then I just kept going, and
Uh-huh.
so I've watched the rest of this series. So I've seen through the end of season 1, and it's good. It's good.
Okay.
There are the things that we've talked about before, the gaps in not
In continuity
space,
or like
like space time things that
yeah.
like, yes. So I'm sure in
Yeah,
the new
because
year we'll talk a
really
little
they're
bit
like
about
zipping
that.
around the whole galaxy, honestly. Like
Like it's
like, yeah.
it's like taking the A train uptown, the
Yeah, they're
express
taking like going from the
train.
Delta Quadrant to the Beta Quadrant, apparently, and
Yep.
now they're back in the Alpha Quadrant. I'm like, oh my god, where the fuck are these people?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Yes, they are zooming all over the galaxy. So for sure.
yeah.
Yes, and that does not stop. That does not
good.
stop.
Great.
And you'll as you'll
I'm
see.
sure I'll
So,
have critiques.
but I think you're right. I think that this was a really strong series. I was the other thing that comes to mind is just how thankfully Dal matured a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Otherwise,
we hated him in like season 1A part 1.
In the first 5 episodes, he was a little bit annoying. Not really a little bit. He was annoying.
Yeah. Oh my
yes.
God.
Yeah. Yes. He grew on us, and I think through the beginning of this year when we saw the second 5 episodes of the season, he had gotten better. There were still signs of the Dal from the first part of the season, but a lot less, thankfully, because that was probably the only thing that I was struggling a little bit with. Was
we both struggled with that.
Yeah,
it was rough.
So,
I think it was, but that was by design. But I think I read an interview where they were like, "Oops, we like did it too well," like in terms of making him annoying and immature. Like they were because they saw the response from fans and they were like, "Yeah, maybe we did it like a little too well in terms of what we intended." But I think that's one thing I do like about Prodigy. They don't linger on anything for too long. Like, for example, this is not a spoiler because it's based upon recent episodes. Like the whole like hologram Janeway, like, oh my God, is she corrupted? Can we ever trust her ever again? They like really nip that in the bud really quickly. So we don't need to like, oh my God, like have it long and drawn out because like some other shows would draw this out for a whole season. It's like, can we ever trust her again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
I appreciate that we don't linger on these points too long and we keep that's another great thing about Prodigy. Like there's consistent forward momentum. Like occasionally you get like this episode where like, yeah, they're stuck on the holodeck, but at the end it pushes the story forward, So that's one thing I really like about Prodigy.
Hi, this is Kasey Shafsky, and I'm one of the co-hosts of Discovering Trek. One of the great things about this year, Trek-wise, was Prodigy. Boy, has that series lived up to expectations, and I think surpassed it in many ways. It's a wonderful show that's great for young, old, middle-aged, every aged Trek fan. It's just fantastic. Period. And you know what else? Great about this year? Oh, gosh. Just everybody being involved in the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. I can't tell you how much all these people mean to me. They're wonderful. And thank you all for listening to us. Much appreciated. Happy holidays. Take care.
Because we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about next. Discovery. It's like, oh my God, like fucking draw everything, like, and it's like so annoying. Like
we are about to get into Discovery here. So.
And it's like, God, like fucking learn from these like other people that are working on Star Trek, like to do a good serialized story. Anyway, I stepped onto my Discovery soapbox really quickly, but we're about to get back on it. So
We are, because
Yeah.
right after that little interlude of Prodigy, which is an interesting choice, and I'm not sure that I understand it, but from looking back at the whole year, I'm glad that we started 2022 off with the with Prodigy, but then we got back into the Anomaly and the end of the universe as we know it once again, 4B, Discovery.
Let's fly.
Yes, and some of my favorite, or my least favorite villain of all time. And to talk about a highlight of the second part of Discovery season 2, or part 2 of season 4, is 4B, sure. Is that I think we both really liked how they developed the language of talking to species 10C, which
no, I did not like this.
we both you did not like this? Okay, so
your
I thought, okay, my recollection is wrong.
No, I liked it, and they did it way too quickly. Like we were.
Yes. That was the complaint, but I liked how they it sort of worked towards that, and very much like Encounters of the Third Kind. 1980s and then 80s movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I've never seen it.
From the 1980s. I mean, I've only seen it once or twice, but that same sort of developing a language, and I think I thought that would have been better drawn out more, to experience some depth to that. But I also want to say that the way that they built in, what do they call their new virtual reality wall?
It's like, I don't know, it's like the VR wall or something. I don't know.
VR wall.
Is it like I don't remember.
No, I don't even remember. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I thought that they did a really nice job with the visuals of that piece of like the 10C and that like vista of the world. It felt a lot better than they had in the past.
It was all right. I think that it looked a little bit too off for me. I feel they did a much better job with it on Strange New Worlds. They kind of integrated it much better. With real props and sets, versus I think Discovery leaned on it probably a little too heavily, in my opinion. I mean, it's still innovative, and I think that the artistic and production design, it really gave them the opportunity to be more artistic and different.
Well, overall,
but
I mean, season 4 was the first time.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but this was their first year using it as well. Sure. So that's the other thing, is that for Star Trek, this was an experiment. So Discovery was the brainchild of
the test run, maybe.
Yeah, the test season for it. So yeah, it was in beta. But a few other highlights from that part of the season, having Tilly come back was really great.
You mean in the finale?
She came back in the last 2, I want to say, when they were
episode. Yeah, the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, because they were on a new anomaly had developed near Earth and Vulcan, right? It was going to wipe out.
It was it appeared there, and the gravity wave was heading towards whatever. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Earth was in danger. Obviously,
Earth was in danger. It was not good.
And Vulcan, I believe, was too. But what do they call it? It's not Vulcan anymore. It's not Vulcan anymore. It's called something else. Remember? Navarre. Thank you. So yes, so we did have that. It was great to have Tilly back, to see the Federation headquarters move as a starship. I thought that was kind of cool. But it was great having Tilly back. That was awesome. And the Earth president, I thought was really...
That was one of my lowlights, Mike.
Oh, really?
I complained about it at length. Yes.
I mean, you complained about so much, it's hard to keep track of what you talk about. But I thought that was kind of cool, having Stacey Abrams come on as the president of Earth.
I couldn't appreciate it any less. So yeah, I'm nothing against Stacey Abrams. I think that she's great, but I didn't appreciate the stunt casting, and it really took me out in the moment. And I'm not going to go back into it because I think I talked about it for 15 minutes. So like in that episode coverage. So yeah, I have strong feelings about it, but that's okay.
Yes.
I have strong feelings about Discovery in general. As our listeners know, it's a common through line.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I'm actually not going to contribute to Discovery 4B because it's all negative. So
that's fine. We don't have to stick on it for very long. This is all I've said everything I wanted to share, other than I was happy to see the villain Tarkin. No, Tarkin is Star Wars. Tarka is the bully that I hated through this entire season.
No, we recall this. Yes.
So yes. I was happy that he met his end.
Yes, he's definitely dead. Yes.
So,
I think one thing that I would say they did a little bit of that I didn't mind, but I wish they could do more of is like one. So this was actually more Discovery 4A versus 4B, but some of like the stuff that they delved into from a mental health standpoint, whether it was with Tilly or Culber, it was like they did a better job with Tilly than with Culber, in my opinion. But I feel that they didn't fully stick the landing, but I do appreciate that they tried to delve into that from a storytelling character development perspective, because I don't think that we touch on like mental health very often in Star Trek. So I really did like that. And maybe that's something, maybe those kind of like, more uncomfortable things or things that we can explore in Discovery or whatever in other shows as well. I mean, we talk about mental health. There's also mental health in like Picard, I guess. I think we talk about that in a minute because that's also whatever Picard. But yes, I feel like we can get more of that from Discovery. Like I feel that the Culber thing, it just didn't really go anywhere. He basically just needed a vacation. Like that's at the end of the day, he just needed to go on shore leave, and spend more time with his husband. But I feel there's more to cultivate there, because he brought up I think he's brought up in 4B, he was, he brought a whole fact that he died and came back to life, and yes, that's true. Oh my God, we haven't even fully unpacked that. And you can't possibly just unpack that by going on vacation. So, I feel there's more there that could be great for that character, and potentially more to mine in terms of how that affects his relationship with Stamets. Because they didn't honestly spend a lot of time together this season. And, they were kind of doing their own thing. Stamets was really obsessed with the anomaly, and Culber was becoming ship's counselor, which is itself kind of potentially problematic. But, I think that would be good. They spent a little more time together at the end, but I think that going into next season, it'd be nice to spend just a little more time with them as a couple, versus oh my God, they're dealing with their own shit separately.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And definitely some more, if, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but one of the things that I am hopeful for season 5 is that we do get some more of that, and some more development of our bridge crew, which as we talked at length about, their stories were kind of stuck in the middle of red alerts, and in very weird timings that did not serve the story, did not serve the characters, did not serve
another one of those moments happening while they are stuck in the turbo shaft that is the TARDIS. So that would be a double whammy. It's not only are we in a situation and you're sharing a life story with me, we are sharing this we're talking about this in this expansive space that shouldn't exist. So
right, be perfect. Yes, that would be good. Yeah. All right, well, lest we get stuck on Discovery for too long, which we do not need to. Next up was Picard, season 2, which held a lot of promise, or we held a lot of hope for. I enjoyed it. I got to talk about it weekly for 9 out of 10 weeks on Discovering Trek.
Engage.
I know that some highlights for me was Ito Aguirre's role as young Guinan. I thought that she did a wonderful job. I thought Allison Pill, whom I didn't like in season 1,
Right.
really came into her own in season 2. I was really, I enjoyed all the starship porn that we got. Specifically, the Bridge of the Stargazer was amazing. And I would say, what was the one other thing? One of the other highlights for me was the trip into the mirror universe. Not so much. Well, I mean, yeah, in some respects, there were some really good
Not the mirror
parts
universe.
about that.
It was like, because let's not confuse it with like the Terran timeline. It's like the
Oh, right.
I don't know what to even call it.
Confederation. It's called the Confederation timeline or whatever.
Because when you say mirror universe, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I meant the.
But it was kind of, that's a problem. It was kind of, that's one of my complaints. Anyway, that's fine. Yes, it was.
Sure. I thought it was different enough or a different take on it that it felt, it is sort of another mirror universe, but.
Mirror universe.
Yes, sure. We're giving Alpha and Bravo. We should just call them Alpha, Bravo,
Beta,
Delta, Gamma. So yeah, those were some of the things. I mean, I did. I think I was happy about Rios finding love, and I thought that they made a nice couple. But I was really sad that they did not come back to the future with us. So we lost them. We lost Allison Pill. Well, she sort of came back at the end of this season, but she was gone.
Yeah, she's around.
We had a dying Q. There was a lot going on, and then and one other highlight, I have to say this because I did enjoy it, but I was really happy that Will Wheaton got to come back and play
really
watch
something about his wardrobe,
well,
like something, anything, like not maybe just his regular look from.
So I mean, honestly, like he was. So that scene did take place in 2024. So. He was appropriately dressed for that, but it would have been cool to see him in sort of I'm
not saying he needs to show up in a spacesuit, but it.
Oh, I think that would be pretty cool.
But
if he showed up in a
like he walked off the ready room and just made an appearance in LA.
I mean, he looks sharp in the ready room. Yeah, I would say that.
It looks like what he would usually wear
on the street. Yes,
Instagram, that's his day-to-day wear.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Or in our speak as New Yorkers, I would say he looks like, what am I thinking of? Like a Brooklynite.
Sure.
That sort of,
kind of like a little bit of hipster wear. Like
hipster from Brooklyn, but.
Like he even had his, he didn't have his glasses, right? I remember.
He did not have his glasses. Yeah, no, he didn't have his glasses.
That would have been, oh my God. Yeah.
So, I mean, here's hoping that I'm hopeful that maybe we'll get to see him again. I don't know if it'll be in season 3 of Picard or whether it'll be...
Or maybe he pops on another show. That's fine.
Yeah, another show would be really cool as well. So, yeah. So those are some of the highlights. I mean, I thought that John Delancey, it was nice to see John Delancey.
Yes, I was going to mention that you didn't say anything about John Delancey. It was nice as John Delancey. Annie Wershing, was great as the Borg Queen.
Yes, she was. Absolutely.
Was kind of fantastic. Like, she stole the scene many a time.
Yes.
During Picard season 2.
I think she sort of brought Allison Pill along with her in that respect as well.
Sure.
I think they played off each other.
Highlights for Picard season 2. I just feel, as you know, that, for example, John Delancey, we didn't get that much John Delancey. Like, we didn't get that much Q. For the whole, given that the whole season was supposed to be about Q, I feel that, And I think Bill on Trek Geeks, on the Trek Geeks episode, did a really great job breaking it down, like basically all my grievances with Picard season 2, because there's so many. It's a little bit of the edging, right, that Picard has been come to known for me, where it's like all the setup and not the best follow through. There's, to me, it's just not fully landing, like, as well as it could be. There's just so much potential. The Confederation shit, the first 2 episodes we both agree were great, like really great setup. And the stakes were high. Q was kind of back to being, really a foil for Picard. But like the whole thing where like this emotional, like, like goodbye, the end, I was like, I don't know. It's, it just didn't land for me. Like, it's been 30 years since Picard has seen Q. It's been so long, and it felt more like it was more like a moment between the actors versus the characters for me. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, we don't need to rehash a lot of these points, but like, yeah, I feel there was like, I agree with all the highlights you mentioned. It's just like, they didn't, first of all, I don't think they stuck the landing on a lot of those like highlights they gave us. And second of all, it's like, oh my God, LA for like 8 episodes. It's like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I don't like visiting LA in real life versus like, I don't need to see LA all the time on TV. So it's just like, literally, It's like LA like looks the same. Like, it's like a lot of neighborhoods look very similar to me, and they're just like driving around LA. It's like, oh my God, it's like, that's real life. Just drive around LA all the time. Like, I don't know. But
speaking of driving around LA, though, I will say, and this reminded me that I really did like Seven's and Rafi's relationship, like sort of their like interactions.
It was nice. It didn't make sense that they could escape from the police that well, or that Seven was able to pick up driving that quickly. But sure, that was fine. I meant the conversations that they had, the interactions, I thought were really. Sure.
Really quite good. Yeah. So I was glad to see that, both the, the challenging pieces and also the softer pieces that they had together. So that was nice. I will say that.
Yeah. No, that was it was good that we got more of them together as a couple. That was definitely one of the highlights too. No, I think I mentioned this. Picard season 2 and Discovery season 3. I feel Picard season 2 is better than Discovery season 4. But I was glad when it was over. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. So, and
I haven't gone back.
We also want to wash our hands of it because Alison Pill's not coming back next season. It's like this that's like anomaly in the middle of space. We'll just forget about it, and move on back to the TNG crew. I don't know. It's just like, they're ready to move on too. Like, it's like, it's weird. Like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, once again though, I am excited about the possibilities with Picard season 3. So,
oh no, I'm excited. But the thing is, I'm just saying, like, they are like us. They're like, we're done with this season. Let's move on. They're ready to proceed on to the next story. Like, yeah, I was shocked when they said that Alison Pill was going to come back for season 3. I was like, they literally.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah.
I mean,
I think that was.
Maybe they'll surprise us and have her, but I don't. From everything I've heard, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like we're going to go straight into Picard season 3 with like Beverly Crusher in peril. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like they're going to connect the end of season 2.
I'm hoping that there are going to be a lot of surprises in Picard season 3. That will be nice, but we've seen some kind of hinting at it also not being just a next generation kind of wrap up, but also a
DS9
Voyager DS9. Right. So,
which is what I feel we all wanted since Picard was announced as a show, but Patrick Stewart did not want that. And now we're finally getting it. Like, we had to like meander through season 1 and 2 to get to this point.
Yeah. So, but after Picard season 2, I think for
We can
us,
both agree.
well, for me, I'll
the
just say
highlight.
this. Yes, no, but I was over the moon happy to have 10 weeks of a Star Trek show where we didn't argue about something once.
Sure.
Hit it.
Strange New Worlds made us two of the happiest Star Trek fans ever, and it was just phenomenal, like blow you away, phenomenal, right up with to the finale, like beginning to end. Strange New Worlds really made 2022 worth it, for sure. And yeah, I mean, there's so much good stuff to talk about. We'll probably be here for the next hour just talking about Strange New Worlds. But what are some of the highlights for you for Strange New Worlds?
Oh, you know, I really liked this season overall. I think my favorite episode was Spock Amok, like, because it was such a great episode that gave us a lot of humor, but then also gave us an opportunity to see deeper into the characters, because this was the episode where we spent a little bit of time with all the characters. And it really was an ensemble episode. Obviously, the focus was on Spock, but Spock and T'Pel. But I think that overall, like, it just did
T'Pring,
not T'Pel, T'Pol. Okay, whatever.
Not T'Pol either. Wrong.
T'Pel is no one. T'Pring. So I thought that, I really liked the episode. Like, it was, again, funny, like, character insight, character growth, little of hinting at what's to come with Nurse Chapel and, you know, her love for Spock, particularly at the end of that episode. It was such a well-balanced episode. And then I would say the other episode that I really liked, that I do not remember the name of because I think it had a funky title, was the submarine episode, the one I think right before. Do you remember the name of the episode, Mike?
It was Memento Mori. So
Memento
they wore
Mori.
all
I
of
was like, you know, I was like, yeah, weird title. But that was
it was Federation Memorial Day or something like that.
It was great, but the whole setup there, you know, the whole thing, like the Gorn really becoming like a big threat for this season.
Yeah.
And potential future seasons. But I really liked how they made the Gorn feel like such a threat without even showing them to us. Like, you know, they were kind of like a silent predator, and it just, the way that they set it up, obviously very much inspired by, you know, Hunt for Red October and, you know, those kind of thriller, like underwater movies. But, you know, they did such a good job pulling it off. And this was like, I think that was the fourth episode. And that really, like, for me, because the first three episodes I liked Strange New Worlds, the first episode, but that was set up, you know. The next two episodes I was like, it's okay, you know, like, but this episode I was like, it really came together for me, like, you know, like, and they're all good, by the way, they're all good, but this was like excellent. And I thought that it really, like, the characters and the show just really gelled by episode 4. So yeah, and obviously the finale, which was also great, that blew me away. Like, it was like one of the best season 1 finales that I could have asked for. And
A Quality of Mercy.
It was just like, so well done. So I would say, like, those are some of the highlights for me. Honestly, like, the whole show is great. You know, I appreciate, very similar to Lower Decks, like, the format of the show gives them the opportunity to do some experimentation, play with different tones of the show. Not every episode needs to have the same tone. And the writing style, like, you know, like, next season we know we're going to get like a crossover Lower Decks, which is silly, but, you know, we'll see what happens. But this format just really gives them the opportunity to do different things and throw things against the wall. And, you know, sometimes one episode's shorter. Some episodes are better than others. But I think that's what, you know, this is what we love about old Star Trek sometimes. It's like, you know, like, sometimes you have a really great episode, but that's okay. You know, like it's you can just jump in and enjoy it, and you know, it's not have to worry about like the fate of the galaxy every week. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. The universe is not ending.
Yeah. And all the characters are great. And they're all like, you know, they're all really good. We talked about this too. Like they all feel very fleshed out. And it's, you know, it doesn't have the discovery problem. Because we just have an opportunity to spend time with everyone and not just primarily like Michael Burnham. So
yeah. No, I would totally agree. I think that this ensemble is probably the most fully fleshed out ensemble in Star Trek, and just the way, and to be fair, we didn't even really flesh out like Melissa Navio's character, you know, or even, you know, Jess Bush's character. You know, we got like, I think there's still a lot more to learn about their characters. The penultimate episode I thought
I can't believe Hemmer died. That's still like gas.
I was just getting there. Yeah. All those who wander.
That was one of the lowlights for Stranger Worlds because they just didn't use him enough. Like, you know, I feel that character just had so much potential. And he's dead. You know, I was like, oh, that's so sad. And one of the few aliens.
But it also solidified though the threat of the Gorn. Like, and he did sacrifice himself because he was infected with Gorn, you know. Sure. And so I think that episode also was really scary, and to have that end that way, I thought was powerful. It was a powerful choice on the part of the writers to do that. Yes, I agree. Losing a main character that you barely know, but you've seen throughout the season.
But he also posted for like 3 episodes. Remember, like he was like just not around.
Yeah,
and we were like, "Where's Hemmer? Where's Hemmer?" Like,
right? Yeah,
not here.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is, and that just brings me quickly to, you know, if we're fans of Treksperts Quiz, the podcast, and we'll be on it next year, and I think you learn a lot. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you just don't know.
Sure.
So we have no idea kind of the things that might have, you know.
Yeah, I haven't heard any tea though. Like
no, really haven't. But anything's possible. So yeah, and I thought A Quality of Mercy was just blow you away. Good. Like,
so good.
Admiral Pike and the Wrath of Khan Reds was amazing. Just all of that, you know, and it continued that through line all the way through the entire season about him struggling with what he had learned on Discovery season 2, about his fate, and just carried it from there. I will say one of the most confusing things about this season for me as a longtime Star Trek fan is just the way that they use star dates in this season did not make any sense.
Yeah,
to me.
I remember I was like, whatever, it's all fake. Like,
and when you look at them listed out, I'm on Memory Alpha just looking at all season 1's episodes, and you see all the star dates listed out, you're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, it means like the numbers basically mean nothing.
Like were some of them backwards?
Oh, they are all over the place.
Yeah, they're not even like
do not
incrementally increasing, right? Consistently.
No. Yeah. They are completely random, as far as I'm concerned, because technically A Quality of Mercy happens before, the entire season, which is weird based on star dates. Well, no, the Ghost of Illyria is actually really early by star date. So it's just kind of all over the place. Like, at least Next Generation, started and made sense through the season, right? They did 26 episodes, right, or how many ever episodes they did. And the the star dates progressed, and it made sense, and it sort of gave you a level of continuity. And for me, every time that you hear someone say a star date on Strange New Worlds, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is that even possible? Right. How is that,
I don't
when
even
are
pay
we
to it because it's like meaningless.
Oh, it just drives me bonkers. Okay. And so
what's worse, that or the TARDIS that is Discovery Turboshock? The Discovery Turboshock.
I mean, we all know the answer to that.
Like, come on,
but anyway, it's just one of those annoying things. But anyway, yeah, I just from start to finish, this season was amazing. The cast was amazing. I can't wait to see what season 2 is going to bring. Here's the difference between my anticipation for Picard season 3 and my anticipation for Strange New Worlds season 2 is that I actually know that Strange New Worlds is going to deliver on my anticipation for this season.
I know. But, like, hope dies last, as I like to say.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
when it comes to, I guess Star Trek.
So, yeah.
Except for Discovery, I've kind of like decided that it's like whatever.
Yeah, but I am super excited for season 2. Like this is Strange New World is must-watch television. And so I am very excited about season 2. We'll get it sometime after Picard season 3, sort of like this year is the game plan. But as far as we know, so looking forward to season 2 and excited to see the cast again. I'm also really excited to see how they're going to, and we talked a little bit about this a couple episodes, maybe last episode or the one before that, just about this whole augment piece, which is coming up. It came up in Prodigy. It definitely is obvious in Strange New Worlds, how that's going to play out, especially because...
Well, we know it's not going to get resolved in Strange New Worlds' timeline. Like, if anything is going to get...
Sure. But I'm hoping... Right, but I'm hoping that Una's storyline works out in a way that she stays with.
I mean, I'm sure she's going to stay on the ship. Like, it's just.
Well, she's not on the ship right now, and we don't know where she is.
I'm sure they're going to get her back, like eventually somehow.
Yeah. So I'm both excited to see how they do that, but also worried about that a little bit as well. So. All right. Well, then we had our first break of the year, basically. Mm-hmm. We may have had a week off here or there, but then we had a whole whopping 6 weeks, I think it was, off. And we came back to Lower Decks Season 3.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Ron, host of the Con Pod, Star Trek Convention podcast. One of my favorite things from Star Trek this year was Season 3 of Star Trek Lower Decks and the return to Deep Space Nine, our favorite space station, getting to revisit the classic characters of Colonel Kira Nerys and one of my favorite Star Trek characters, Quark.
I felt like it was going to be hard to deliver better than Season 2 of Lower Decks. Mm-hmm. But in the end, I think they got there. At the beginning, I wasn't so sure. And please I hope we never see Peanut Hamper again. But anyway.
It's going to happen. Like, we left that door wide open.
I'm happy to see Agamus again because that's, who is that? Who plays Agamus?
Jeffrey Combs.
Thank you, Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with bringing Agamus back because, it's Jeffrey Combs. But no more Peter Hamper. But season 3, I think I was a little disappointed at the beginning of season 3 because, again, you had to get back into the mindset of what Lower Decks is all about. And that is that it's really the life of the lower deckers, and they're not going to know what's going on the with the command staff. So the fact that we were left with Carol Freeman being taken away at the end of season 2, which was a big shock, and then have it wrapped up so easily at the beginning of season 3 off screen was, I think, the toughest part. But it definitely did get better. I think that the end of the season really crushed it with Crisis Point 2 and Trusted Sources in the Stars at Night. I think that whole journey of Beckett's was really good. What are some of your thoughts on season 3 of Lower Decks?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that the beginning of it was kind of tricky, and I feel that we kind of took maybe a couple steps back when it came to the characters and also some of the momentum that we had at the end of season 2. And I agree with you. I think it got there, but I really do think that these characters are primary protagonists. They cannot stay ensigns forever. I feel that is actually holding the show back. And I feel that by necessitating that they stay where they are rank wise is, I feel they need to make up reasons for it, and I just don't think it's working. So, and I think I mentioned this. I think that they can call it Lower Decks still. Just because they get promoted, because the whole show is about the whole crew of the Cerritos, they're basically lower deckers. You know what I mean? It's not just these 4 ensigns that we're with week to week. It's literally the entire Cerritos crew. So, I think I made this relation to Veep, right? Very similar.
You did,
just because she's president, just because Selena Meyer, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, became president, she's a powerless president. Thematically, it was still Veep. She's still a VP, because she had so little power over Congress. And I know you haven't watched Veep, but it's Congress constantly cock-blocked her where she couldn't do anything, and she was powerless. Same deal. They can do that. That would be my feedback to my command. Do not feel like you need to keep these characters as ensigns. Promote them, give them more responsibility, but you're still playing within the theme of the show and the title and what its essence is. These are not characters on the Enterprise. These are characters on the Cerritos. So, I think that's one.
I like how you put that, though. I like how you say that the whole ship, the Cerritos, is sort of the lower deckers of Starfleet. And one thing I forgot to mention, though, the other episode that really stands out is obviously the Deep Space Nine episode.
Sure.
We got to go back to Deep Space Nine, which was really cool. And see Major Kira and Quark again. So that was a special treat from this season as well.
Yeah.
But then they they did that, and then they had a peanut hamper episode, which honestly,
again,
I will never ever. I hate that episode. I will never watch it again.
They can the format allows them to do I think once a season, a very experimental episode like that, and just if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick, whatever.
Well, they did 3 ships last season, and season 2 was really good, I thought.
Right. So anyway, so I would say that was my biggest thing this season. I think that, and I think by the end, I feel that we there was some character development, but we kind of got back to where we were at the beginning of season 3. Basically, they're all still ensigns. Mariner is now still assigned to Ramson, but by her own will. She was you can be my mentor, right?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
So we got the Fogan ensign coming into next season on the one from 3 ships. So I think that might change the dynamic. But I do think that, just overall, again, we're just back at, I just don't know how much forward momentum we've had with main characters, except I would say Rutherford, because Rutherford, we got a lot more of his backstory, and I don't know if that is going to propel him forward much, because it's just we resolved it, and we know Admiral Admiral. Wait, what's his name again?
The Badmiral.
The Admiral,
Buen
whatever.
Amigo.
Yes, Buen Amigo. I was like, it's a play. Yes, I was like, it's Spanish.
Yes,
we know
good friend.
Good friend. We know we did to Rutherford, and it'd be nice to see next season, like him being able to, now that he knows his knows his history, he knows where he's been, like he can propel himself forward more. I don't know. Like I just I think it's just important that the show does not get stuck in, again, having to feel like they need to force these 4 characters to just stay where they are. Because I think from a long-term perspective, I think that's really going to first of all, not make sense. Like, it's like how we make fun of Harry Kim never being promoted 7 years. Looking back, it's ridiculous. But second, I think it's going to limit their character growth, So, yeah, we'll see. But overall, I think it did get there. It just took like a few episodes for it to kind of get back into the groove.
Yeah. So hopefully season 4 won't have that issue. But I'm always this is also another show that I look forward to just because it's completely off, just it's all fun. Like, it's never very serious. We tend to take it serious, kind of like we take Prodigy seriously at some points, but
well, that's because Prodigy takes itself a little bit more seriously than like Lower Decks. I mean, not
for sure, yeah. But in universe, Prodigy doesn't take itself so seriously, versus Lower Decks sort of in universe does take itself seriously, in that, like, there's the Titan, there's like star dates, there's things that make sense. But anyway, right. But I it's always something I look forward to is Lower Decks.
It's always,
and consistently they've been coming out in August of every year. So hopefully we'll, in 2023, in August of 2023, we'll get some new Lower Decks. Seems to be something that they're able to put out on a yearly basis, unlike some other of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, then we got back to Prodigy, right?
Go fast.
To wrap up the year, right?
Right.
Did we have anything else after that? It was pretty much, we're in the midst of the 10 final episodes of Prodigy.
Yeah, I mean, we had a smattering of other highlights this year that is kind of outside the day-to-day of just the series. Like, we saw the motion picture. I don't know if you're going to bring this up. Like, we saw the motion picture.
Oh, no, yeah. We saw.
I think those are highlights for me this year as well. Like, motion picture was, I mean, it looked great. I was tired. I
yes.
Third of it. It was good. But, oh my God.
Yes.
And Wrath of Khan, of course, was excellent. And it was really nice to kind of see it in a theater in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great experience.
That was, yeah. It was, it was really, I think it was the first time I'd seen Wrath of Khan on the big screen. So
yeah, I certainly haven't.
And I've watched it, 100 times. It is my number one favorite Star Trek movie. So, that was a lot of fun. Even I think for, even I was tired too for the motion picture, but it was, hearing the orchestra in surround sound in a movie theater, because both have great soundtracks, but hearing the motion picture in a theater was definitely a good experience as well. So and Prodigy has been going strong the rest of this year. And one other thing that it's a highlight because it was, well, I'll just say it and then I'll explain it. But, we did go to Mission Chicago.
Right. Oh my God. I forgot that was this year. It feels like forever ago.
I mean, technically our first official Star Trek convention, right? And that was really cool to be a part of, because I think the one thing that I really enjoyed versus our experience at Star Trek Not Las Vegas, or not Star Trek Las Vegas, however you want to refer to it, is that you got the exclusive things that I thought were kind of, cool to see.
Yeah, totally.
For different, and also I think at Mission Chicago, I fell in love with Kate Mulgrew again.
Yes.
Like
I think I fell back in love with her first, and then I brought you along with me.
Sure.
I kept on gushing about her after yes. We went to her book panel first, and then next day we did the Prodigy panel. But after we came out of the one where she was promoting her book, I was like, she's amazing. She's great.
Yeah. No, I think, and seeing her throughout Prodigy has been amazing. And we'll get to see more of her in season 2. So
and I know we're not talking about it, but I really, really liked the most recent episode. Not the screener episode, obviously, but the one that people saw, which was Mind Walk. I think
Mind Walk, yes.
Mind Walk.
Yeah.
Because it just gave Kate... Kate Mulgrew is not... I don't think she's, known for her humor. She's a very serious actress. But yes, I was just like... I mean, one of the reasons why I love this episode was that it really... Because now we're gushing on about Kate Mulgrew, is it really gave her the opportunity to just exercise range and comedy, and she did it so well. She did such a great job, and basically impersonating Dal, and her intonation, her her rhythm, when she was kind of panicking, they were all so on point, because we don't really see Kate Mulgrew act that kind of character. At least I have not, and I never saw Orange Is the New Black, so I don't quite know. I know she's a dark character there, but this was the first time I've really seen her in more with a comedic beat. So I was on the floor. I wasn't really on the floor, but I was oh my god, it was.
you were texting me.
I was texting you. I was
loving this episode.
Yeah. So. Really, I think Prodigy actually has really given her, between that episode, but then Admiral Janeway and Hologram Janeway, she's given a lot of opportunities to exercise a lot of range, and it really makes the show better. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to watch the final 2 episodes and
oh my god,
see how it wraps up. But. Yeah, no, and
I mean, are they as funny as Mind Walk though? Mind Walk was really funny.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, no, Mind Walk is funny. I would not humor funniness. I don't think really is how I would describe the 2 last episodes. But it's been a couple of weeks since I've watched them, so
okay.
But I think you're gonna enjoy them. But talking more about Kate Mulgrew, I mean, here's hoping that we get to see her live action. And I feel like that she may be a surprise in season 3 of Picard. But also maybe after season 3 of Picard, there is something new for her as well.
I mean, she's lobbying for it for sure. I
think she's feeding off the fans lobbying for it.
What was it? Was it at Comic-Con? Your Comic-Con?
Yeah, Comic-Con, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
We weren't there, but we were live streaming it, and she was
right, yeah.
Alex Kurtzman, what do you think?
Right.
Admiral Janeway still be ambulatory by the time that you are ready to have her back on screen. She was come on, she was kind of pushing for it. So
yeah, yep,
that'd be
for
cool.
Sure. Yeah. Anything else from 2022? Oh, and not to put too fine of not to kind of tack this on at the end, but also at Mission Chicago, we get to meet in person our executive producers of this podcast for the first time in person. We got to see a bunch of the rest of the team at Trek Geeks Podcast Network. So that was really cool. We had some dinners. We had some good times. So that was more highlights from Chicago this year. Sadly, there will not be another Chicago-like experience / Seattle, whatever. But
Low Light would be Paramount, CBS, Viacom fucking up the franchise because of their incompetence. But that's neither here nor there.
I mean, that's SOP, really. I mean, it's really
standard operating procedure for those of you that don't know our acronym SOP.
Yeah. So that is 2022 in review. 5.
We didn't really talk that much about
series.
Prodigy. I mean, but we've talked about Prodigy for the last 8.
Which is I mean, it's it's nice that it bookends the year. I also think it'll be. I had fun binging the last 4 episodes together. I think it's going to be very binge worthy for everyone. And so, like you said at the beginning, like, this is a show that people need to watch. I agree with that. And, in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to watch the whole season. But speaking of other Star Trek, we, another highlight, we did the Trexperts quiz, which will be coming out next year. That was a lot of fun. That also, for me, reinvigorated me starting to rewatch Deep Space Nine again, which, as we previously mentioned, is a strong opening season. I had forgotten how good this was. It's been that long. So yeah. So, and it's...
Is that your stomach? Are you hungry?
No, that is not my stomach. That is our third podcast host, Hamish, joining me on the podcast. So that's 2022. Any quick thoughts about we've talked about what we're looking forward to in 2023. Anything else that you didn't mention that you are looking forward to?
We talked about Picard season 3, Strange New Worlds season 2. I'm definitely looking forward to the crossover with Lower Decks. I really want another Star Trek show to be announced. I mean, this kind of goes in the vein of, like, even you talking about, like, Kate Mulgrew or whatever. I mean, I'm not that excited about either Section 31 or Starfleet Academy, like, this as concepts. I mean, it would be nice to see Michelle Yeoh back on Star Trek, but she's such a busy woman that I'm not holding my breath. In Starfleet Academy, I don't know. I don't know about Starfleet Academy. I mean, like, it'd be fine, but, like, I want us to be in space and, like, exploring shit and not. Though I guess this is what people said about DS9. I mean, like, you're just on a station. I don't know. Maybe somehow they make it incredible. I have no idea. I really do want. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, that's if you really want to watch Starfleet Academy, you can, like, go back and watch. I don't know, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, something where it's
I don't know if it's gonna be
like
a teen. Yeah, maybe I know they're trying to pull more audiences, but I mean, I really want to see, like, a new series that follows the characters that we come to know into the 25th century, beyond Picard. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be a way for us to get people like Kate Mulgrew back, but then it doesn't need to be just Kate's show. It doesn't need to be, Star Trek Janeway or whatever, but it could be like, I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about how, I think one title that was being thrown around at some point was like Star Trek Legacies or something. That could be a great title for, like, just like, the continuing journey of, like, like basically these like, TNG, DS9, Voyager characters. Not to say, like, we can have new characters in the mix, but, like, I would love to see, like, because, like, honestly, so many of us are fans of that era, that it would be great to see those continuing stories and to understand what those characters are. And I think we're gonna get a little bit of that in Picard season 3, but it'd be great to see that move forward, or something beyond just Picard once Picard ends. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It could even be like
it
could be like an anthology series. Like it could be like every season's different, or every episode like focuses on like where's Harry Kim. I don't know, but that could be cool. Like it would just be a way for us to revisit these characters that we spent many, many years with. So without necessarily, and it doesn't need to be like super serialized like Picard, right? Like I think that's one thing that is, feature and a bug of Picard is so serialized, but if we can spend just some time with each of the characters, that'd be cool. I don't know. Just something like that.
Yeah, I think something along the lines of Strange New Worlds, weekly Star Trek, another weekly Star Trek show that does not need a through line necessarily, would be great. Something that is more episodic and kind of gives us that nature of Star Trek, with some of the legacy characters, maybe with new characters. Obviously, I think that's the only way that would happen is with some new characters thrown in there.
And that's fine, but I want to see where's the Federation in the 25th century. I want to understand the political dynamics with the fallout from the Romulan Empire being gone, and where are we with the Cardassians? Are there normalized relations with the Dominion? I don't know, I would love to understand all that stuff, because sometimes that's what made Star Trek so interesting. So I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, let's hope
to announce like a new show next year. I don't know, but at the same time, CBS, Paramount, Viacom, whatever, they've also been tightening the purse strings too. I have no idea. It's not just like you get a new Star Trek series and you get a new Star Trek series. I don't know. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we got 51 episodes of Star Trek this year. I think that's incredible. I mean, that is the most Star Trek we've had in the 55 years of this franchise in one year.
One calendar year,
yeah. So, one calendar year, yeah. So
but those are things that I am looking forward to. We're not going to make it to Vegas next year, I think, right? Because you have something going on?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot going on in my life, so
sure.
Not gonna be able to plan Vegas at this point anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see where the road takes us. Yeah, but there are no other cons in the near future. So
there are not.
So,
anything else you're looking forward to next year for 2023?
I mean, the
start of the 2024 primaries. That's usually when it starts.
Gosh, no, I do not.
I can't wait.
No, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's when the election season. Season for.
I understand.
The presidential.
Yes, I understand. Not looking forward to this at all. No. I'm hoping that the book universe kind of continues and gets a little more robust in 2023. I'm currently listening to David Mack's latest original series novel. So, and there's the first Strange New Worlds novel is coming out in February. So I'm looking forward to that. But I hope there's more of that. I really loved we didn't even talk about it, the Picard kind of 90-minute audiobook with Raffi and Seven. More of that would be. I mean, I'm a huge fan of audio. So I'd love to have more of that available as well. So yeah. I need to get into the comics because they've brought back Ben Sisko. So there's this whole thing that's tied to a game that's coming out, which I'm not a gamer, so
Star Trek Renegades.
There's that Resurgence.
I think Renegades. Yes, it's. I don't think you're gonna play that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm definitely not going to play it. But anyway, so yeah, no, I think that, yeah, and I also don't think that I'm very skeptical that Section 31 is actually going to happen. Michelle Yeoh is way,
Academy, which again, I'm not that excited about. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But if Tilly's on it and she's leading it, then, definitely it would be a watch from that perspective.
I guess I don't know how I feel about Tilly being like the main character. Like, I feel that she's played, like, she's great in a supporting role, but I just haven't seen her in that capacity, so I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, like, she's usually grown Discovery because I feel she's such a good foil to everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah, but taking us back to season 1 of Discovery when she played the captain in the Mirror Universe, she did grow into that, and so that's was true.
But
well, she did it in other seasons too, but in season 3 as well. But but
that's not.
I can see that.
We know, right? It's not like. I don't know.
That is
I feel that she, by the end of season 4, she, you can tell that she changed a little bit. She's much more like sure of herself, and the way that she is, like giving commands to the ensigns and such, or the cadets rather. So we do see that evolution a little bit. I just don't know if she can, carry her own show. We'll have to see. I don't know. I mean, I like Tilly. Don't get me wrong. She's one of my favorite characters. It's just that we haven't seen that character get tested that way yet.
Right. Well, very good. Well, there's our year in review of Star Trek in 2022. And Johnson, why don't you tell our listeners how they can share their highlights or lowlights / criticism / hopes for 2023? All of the above, whatever you want to share.
Whatever you want to share. Sure. So we would love to hear from you all. You can reach us on social media on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride, or you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com. You can also leave us a 5-star review if you want on your podcast platform of choice. We love that. So get the word out there. Share share with your friends, whatever. So
yes, yeah. And we want to take a moment to thank Fansets for being the premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. And go on over and check out fansets.com. The latest and greatest that I'm excited about, and mine is headed my way, is the magnetic Delta from Next Generation. I'm super excited to get that. That is out there now. Go check that out. That is the latest Delta. And they've got a whole lot more Deltas coming soon as well. So head on over there. If you use the code Trek Geeks, all one word, at checkout, you're going to get 10% off your order. And if you have more than $30 in your cart, you're going to get free shipping in the US. So head on over to fansets.com. Give them lots of love and support. They are a great partner and a great small business to support. And we want to thank Fansets for being the premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. All right.
And also,
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. And also,
it sounds like you have something else.
I know you are. Yeah. No, I did have one more thing. We have Trek Talks 2 coming January 14th, a telethon to support the Hollywood Food Coalition. 8 hours of interviews with Star Trek alums from all the series. And you can head over to trektalks.net for more information on that.
John Billingsley, Phil Phlox, Hollywood Food Coalition here. Guess what? Trek Talks 2. It's happening. You asked for it. You got it. January 14, 8 hours of premium Star Trek entertainment, amazing guests, madcappery, insightful social commentary, musical interludes. Support HoFoCo. Check us out at hofoco.org, helping people in need for almost 40 years. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, on the 14th of January at trektalks.net. trektalks.net. Live long and mark your calendars. Again, trektalks.net.
Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you back here in 2023. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.